What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Inferno here, and I'm checking in once again with yet another tutorial. Yes, sir. So in this tutorial, we are going to achieve this nice piece I have on display. I mean you and myself here in Adobe Photoshop. So this is just by the way, I've seen the effort you guys are putting in to keep this channel going by subscribing, liking, and sharing. I really appreciate that. So please don't stop. Keep doing so to keep the channel growing. So please, if you are new here too, don't forget to do same. Subscribe, like, and share, and then comment to keep this channel growing. Thank you. Let's get to work. So we are going to create our canvas first. So the canvas that we are going to create is 5 by 7. So we have to go to File and then New, and then in here we are going to input our value. So the width and height is going to be, or the width and height are going to be 5 for the width and then 7 for the height respectively. The unit of measurement is inches. Okay, very good. So you change it from pixels to inches before you start changing the values. Okay, all right, so you change here, then you come in here, then you type 5, and then you click here, and then you type 7. Okay, so resolution should be on 300 because the work is for social media, so 300 is fine. And the color mode is RGB. The maintain everything here. Then more importantly, or most importantly, change this color from sRGB to Adobe RGB 1998, and then go to click on create. Are we good? All right, so just like that, we have our canvas created. So we are going to create our background, followed up by, I normally create my titles before everything, but in this case the title text has already been designed, so there's no need. So I would, if you would like to also see how I was able to create the title, please visit this video, and then when you are done, get back. So the title first, and then the background before you start arranging the various elements from the subject, I mean the ministers, and also the various details, the date, the time, and everything. That is how you go about flyer designing. Okay, let's get moving. So in this case, I'll create a new layer by clicking here, add new layer icon. Then I'll start with a rectangle. Okay, have my color here, so I'll copy it. I just drag over and copy it here. Okay, and then U for the rectangle too. And then if you have these things, change them to this, disable the stroke, and then left click here, and then left click here to give it a color. Okay, and then drag it. Okay, something like so. Okay, and then let me check. So double click. Okay, Command V. Okay, so this is the color that you'll be using. So you can take a screenshot of the color, and then so that when you are practicing you can easily follow along. Okay, all right, so like so you go to OK, and then press Command T or Control T on Windows. Hold Shift, left click, and drag this point to distort the rectangle a little bit to make it a bit wider. Okay, good. So like so, and then let's expand it a little bit. Command T or Control T on Windows, and then Shift, left click, and drag. Enter to register action, and then let's start with these. Okay, our musicians. So we would first introduce our title before our musicians come in. So let me just come in here, and then right click on our title here, the group. Okay, so sorry about that. With this one, my color mode was not Adobe RGB. I used sRGB, so let me change it quickly. Okay, all right. So I'll come to edit, assign profile, and then OK, and then change to working sRGB and go to OK. Like that, okay. Alright. So I just right click on the title to select it and move it up like so. Okay. Select rectangle and then Command T or Control T on Windows and then Shift and then expand it further like so. Okay, so that the title falls within it. Okay, very good. Then use the add Shift to the left arrow key. Okay, the left arrow key and then shift the rectangle to this side. Okay, all right. Okay, so you're moving to the right hand side to add Shift to right arrow key. And then like so, like this. So let's start introducing our subjects. Okay, all right. So even before that, let's add a new layer and then type worship. Okay, worship. So T for the type 2 or the text 2 and then click on this particular color, the foreground, left click and then left click and drag here to select white. Color code is FFF, okay, white, and go to OK. T for the type 2 and then left click, okay. The font that I'm going to be using is Gotham Black, okay, Gotham Black, okay, all right. So type worship. So Command A or Control A on Windows and first drag, left click and drag to your left hand side on the TT icon to reduce the font size, register it, and then V for the move to and the move here, okay. Double click on it and then click here, okay, and then add, press enter and then type the shape, okay, in addition, worship, like so, okay, all right. Command A, click here to get the expanded version of the text properties or the type properties and then do some further adjustments in there, okay, all right. So inside there we have line spacing, okay, we do the line spacing like so, okay, and register action, okay. Press Command T, okay, Command T or Control T, okay, with the worship layer selected, and then let's skew it, okay, this way, okay, to distort the look of the text. That is the look that we want for our artwork, okay. So we are going to distort it and right click on it and then go to skew, okay, left click, place your cursor here, then you are going to see an indicator underneath the pointer, okay, that gives you the chance to skew it. If you move it here, you will not get, okay, here unless here, okay, or let's say on any point, then just drag it up like so, okay, something like this. So this will be okay. Register action, okay, good. Press Command Enter or Control Enter on Windows and then left click and drag on the shape, okay, and Command X or Control X on Windows to cut. Press backspace to move insertion point up, okay, and then press Control Enter to register action. Control J to create a duplicate of the wall, okay, WOR, and then Control left click and drag and add Shift to constrain the transformation, okay, on a straight line. Release and then Command Enter or Control Enter on Windows and then Command V or Control V on Windows to paste in place, and then use the arrow keys to change the position of your insertion point to the back of the S and then push it to the other side, okay, upwards, okay, good. So I'll push it upwards like so and that'll be fine. Command Enter or Control Enter and then let me move it up like so. Let me start adding my images. So here, create a new layer and then I would introduce this subject, okay, just drag him in here, okay, and I would move him here, okay, convert it to a smart object, okay. If you convert it to a smart object and then you are scaling up and down, you have no issues, okay. So that is why I'm converting the image into a smart object, okay, good. And I'll press Command T or Control T on Windows to bring the transform bounding box and I would reduce the size of the image like so. Okay, like so. Okay. Are we good? All right. So just drag the WOR on top of him like this, roughly. Okay, roughly. And let's add the other subject too as well. Let's first close this Control W or Command W on Windows and click here. And let's add this minister. Okay, let's drag him here like so. Okay, let's left click and drag this minister to here like so. Okay, right click on it, convert to smart object and Command T. Okay, and then reduce the size like so. So we are going to add the other images too as well. Okay, all right. So Command T, let's right click and then flip horizontal. Okay, to flip him this way. Okay, then reduce size, move it downwards. Let's add the rest too as well. Control W, come in here, select this, import it here as well, and drag him here. Left click and drag him onto the canvas. Right click and then convert to smart object. Command T or Control T on Windows to bring the transform bounding box with the image selected and do the size. Just left click and drag to your right hand side to reduce the size, okay, of the image. Left click and drag on this point to your left hand side to do vice versa. Okay, that is to your left hand side. Reduce the size of the image to your left hand side and move her here. Okay, hey, my here and the hair. Okay, so close this and then introduce the final image here like so, and then drag and drop him here too as well. So as usual, convert him to a smart object, Command T, and do the image size like so. Okay, like this, and then move him up like so. Okay, all right, like this. Okay, so it appears the worship is on top of that image, so it is not, the shape is on top of that image, so it is not making the whole thing look okay. So let's edit it to make the whole thing look fine. Okay, all right. So just as you can see from here, see it is at the back. So you click on the wall here and then Command Enter or Control Enter to make the wall layer editable, and Control or Command X or Mark to cut the X, and then place your cursor. Use the arrow keys to move your cursor to the front of the W or where the typing started for the wall. Okay, and then press space to move the W, okay, further to your right. Okay, all right. Command Enter and increase the size. Okay. Command J and drag it on top of this minister. Okay, and then move the copy down with Shift and then the down arrow key. Okay, like so, and then press Command Enter or Control Enter on Windows and change it from WO to RS. Okay, use the arrow key, the left arrow key to move your insertion point to where the typing began for the WO. Okay, and once again use the space bar to move it. Okay, so Command A or Control A to select everything and type RS. Okay, use the arrow key, the left arrow key to move it back to where the W is, and then use the space bar key to space to move it up. Okay, all right, like so. All right, let's select this image and move it down. Select this image and move him down too as well, and like so. So select the shape and then move it here. Okay, select the RS and then move the RS here. Okay, like so. Select this and move it here, and then increase the size a bit, okay, just as you have here, okay. Then move it here, okay. Just use the arrow key or the mouse to drag and then move like so, okay. Select this image and move him down too as well, like so, and then the RS to move it down and you make it bigger too, okay. All right, see, then make it big like so, okay. Bigger, biggest. Okay, so you select the shape tool and then you increase the size from here, okay, like so, okay. Then we see the placement, okay. Just increase further and move it here like so, increase, okay, like so. You get it? Yeah. So let's close this, okay. Increase the size further. So let's see, this is 102, so this one too has to be, we'll maintain the 108 for it for now, okay. All right, and you see the lower part, okay, or these areas, okay, these areas for our image, okay. We have to kind of blend them, okay. We have to fade them to make the title on top of them, that is the Tehillah Tamid, to make the Tehillah Tamid visible, okay. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to blend, okay. I'm going to blend the Tehillah Tamid, the lower parts of our image by fading them with mask, and then place our title there, okay. All right. So move this here and I'll select this image, and let's do this. Let's add the layer mask by clicking on the layer mask icon here, and then B for the brush to use soft one brush here, okay. Opacity, move it down to somewhere around 68%, okay, 68%, and then left click and then apply, okay, like so, okay. This is what we intend to achieve. Then select this image too as well. Then Command T, increase the image size a bit, and then move him up, press enter and then move it up. Control T on Windows, okay. All right, select the title, right click on it, select it and then move it down like so, okay. Select this image, add the layer mask and then try to okay, with the brush to just fade, okay, like so. And let's move this image up to slightly, like so, and yeah, we are almost there. So let's see. Okay, select title by left clicking on it and then move it down here. Then let's go in for this. This is left, okay. This gradient application is left, okay. So this is what we are going to do. Going to see, okay, these two layers, and Command G or Control G on Windows to group them, okay, and hold Command or Control on Windows and then click inside the layer terminal for the rectangle, okay, to turn the rectangle into a selection, okay. All right, so afterwards you just make sure that you have the group layer selected, and then you use that particular selection, okay, to add the marks to that particular group, okay. So with the group selected, I'll just click on the add layer mask, and then all these areas of the image, okay, outside the selection will be hidden, okay, for the start. So afterwards, I'll just come in here, click to add a layer, and come in here. To add the base color. So I would just click here on the foreground and then Command V, and then let me see, to me there's a 1 here, okay, like so. So this is the color. Again, you can take a screenshot and then you follow, okay? I can take a screenshot, then okay, and then G for the gradient 2, and then just left click and drag like so, okay, just like that. Command T and then move it upwards. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, V for the move to, click, then move this up here, okay, the hip like so, okay. All right, so let's see. Okay, all right, so just like that, we are almost there. Let's select this image, Command T, and then try to let's see. Okay, let's first select this image and move it out, okay, like so, okay, just like this. And then let's select everything, click here, then you scroll downwards, you select this, Command T, and then you scroll them downwards like so, okay, very good. Just to get these lines here, okay. All right, Control 0 to fit, Command T, and then increase the size of this image like so. Move this up a bit, okay. So let this image move it up a bit like so, then move it here, okay. If you can see from here, I think this is on top of this, okay, so you have to do that particular arrangement, okay, like so. So you just click on this image, then you get this, then you drag it up, you drag it on top first, and then let's move it out of the masking that we did, and then let's see, you'll find out certain things very soon. Let's move it up here, and then Command T, and then try to reduce his image a little bit like so, okay. All right, so let's drag this out of the group 2 as well to somewhere like so, okay. All right, and then let me disable the layer mask for this subject for now. Just as you can see, this is looking weird, we fix it. So let's see. Okay, so we created a rectangle and then we placed the rectangle here, okay, to do away with these areas, okay. The rectangle was white in color, okay. All right, so we are going to create a layer here, and then U for the rectangle too, and then we come in here, change the color from this to white, okay. We click here and then check if it is white, okay. Then you click here and then just left click and drag like so, okay. V for the move to, and now we have this. Are we good? Okay. So just as you can see, this place is also free. We know what we will do over there, okay. All right, select this, okay. Add a mask, V for the move to, and then paint on, apply black on the white layer mask, because when you apply black on the white layer mask, it hides, okay. So we want to hide those areas or that particular area inside the gradient mask of that particular layer, okay. We don't want that layer to be visible in there, okay. All right, so just apply white. If it is not enough, just increase the opacity here and then apply like so, okay. All right, select this, Then let's delete layer mask, add a new one, B for the brush 2, and let's reduce and then fade like so. Okay, these areas. Okay, so with this selected, okay, we would just see like this. Select this and then Command T, then we do the size a little bit. Okay, very good. And then you will press and hold Command or Control on the key on Windows. Okay, and then left click inside the thumbnail of this minister to get this selection. Okay, and then inverse the selection. Okay, you want to erase outside, you want to clean outside that particular layer. That is a gradient layer that we applied. We want to clean outside the excesses, okay, not inside. Okay, so we have to inverse the selection so that we can erase like those areas away, or we can do away with those areas. Okay, all right. So Control Shift I on Windows and Command Shift I on Mac, and then select the layer marks of that particular layer. Then B for the brush 2, and then let's see if you can do away. Oh, I'm doing the worst. I'm doing the wrong thing. So let me undo everything. Okay, and then it is for this particular layer instead. Okay, so let me just apply. Let me move it up from 34 to somewhere around 88 and do away with these areas. Okay, like so. Okay, Command D to let's first deal with these areas before we move. Okay, so Command D to deselect, then B for the brush to going for the hard round brush. Okay, this time around 100%, so that when we clean, it cleans just like that. So I would apply, I'll zoom in. Okay, and I'll do away with those areas. Command Z with these SSs. Okay, so I'm just left clicking and dragging, so like so. Okay, very good. Something like this. Let's zoom in and clean this area a bit. Get this. Increase the size of the brush with the from here. Okay, or use a shortcut. Those bracket keys after the P. Okay, so test them out. One is going to increase, the one closer to the P is going to reduce, the one further away from the P is going to increase the size of your brush. Okay, all right. So like this. Okay. We select the title. Okay, by left clicking on it and then move it down here like so. Okay. And then select this image, add a mask B. It is already having a mask, so you just have to click on this mask and then change it from hard round brush to soft round brush. Increase the size with the bracket keys or from here. Okay, like so. Okay, and then change the opacity 78 and then increase the size and apply. Okay, reduce the opacity and apply it. Okay, apply it subtly. Okay, apply it subtly. All right, and then select this layer, select its mask and then apply. Okay, like so. Okay, like this. Very simple. Select this C, B for the brush 2 and then apply it over. Okay, so that you get rid of the areas that the gradient application is affecting. Okay, because we just created it like this, so it is moving upwards. Okay, so from saturation to from just like diffusion. Okay, intense, less intense. Okay, and then nothing. Okay, all right. You just do it with these areas of the gradients. Okay, and then these here, the ones here, you just leave them. Okay, and do it with the ones here. And once again, let's click here, then select this. Okay, you click on one. Okay, you click on the first one, move to the very bottom, add shift, and then click to select the range. Okay, and then Command T or Control T on Windows, and then scale them down. Okay, like so. Okay, then move them here. Very good. And let's read the title and move the title down. Okay, good. So underneath the title, there is something there. Okay, there is this over there. It's called unending praise. So this was how I was able to do that. Create a new layer. T for the type to left click, and then okay, it was like this. Okay, so I typed unending. Okay, unending praise. Okay, and Command A or Control A to select everything. Reduce size to about 3. Okay, about 3.39, and then enter, and I increase the word spacing. Okay, the kerning. Okay, like so, and then I move it up. Okay, V for the move to before you move. Okay, like so. See? Okay, so let's increase the size of the shape. Okay, just as you can see, and then hold Control in the movie here. Okay, like so, just as you can see. All right. D for the brush to, let's see, 100% hard run brush. Command Z. So let's read the foreground and background color. We want to see if you can introduce these areas. Just okay, they are there, just that the H is blocking them. Okay, so select the hip and the movie here, feather here, like so. Okay, just like that. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the other stuff. So just come in here, and then we create a line here. We add a line, and you have 1, 2 here. Okay, just introducing guys to help us with the placement of the various information. Okay, all right, and I started with this. Okay, unending praise. So the logo came first before the unending praise. So I come in here with the logo. I already have the logo designed in Illustrator, so I just cross over to Illustrator and then copy it from the Control C. Come into Photoshop and Control V to paste. Smart object, okay, and then we do the size like so. Okay, you do the size like so. Then click on it and move it here. Okay, click here to add a layer. U for the rectangle to disable the fill, and this time around activate the stroke. Okay, because you are going to use the stroke as a border for the logo. Okay, the Praise Factory logo. Okay, all right, so you just click on this, and like reactivate the stroke, and this time around we're not going to go in for white, we are going to go in for black. Okay, all right, and then just drag over like so. Okay, before the move to have something like this. Okay, Command T or Control T on Windows, you do the size of the rectangle, select the worship factory tool as well, and then move it here. Okay, Command H or Control H on Windows to hide the guides, and then select the logo, and then add control, and then select the rectangle, and then move them down like so. Okay, all right, so you move on to this. Okay, on ending praise, so T for the type 2, and then come here, and then 0, something like this, 14, and then Command A, and then on ending phrase, Command A or Control A on Windows, then change the color to black, and click here. So change the font to Gotham Black. Okay, and then reduce the kerning like so. Okay, and let's see this one too as well. Okay, we have Psalm 34:1. So just Command Enter or Control Enter on Windows, left click here, okay, and type Psalm 34 verse 1. 34 verse 1. Okay, drag over and type Gafta. Okay, Gafta is going to be the font style, and reduce the size like so. Okay, so when we reduce font sizes of text, okay, in one text layer, okay, you tend to have this weird look where you get uneven spaces, okay, in between the smaller font and the bigger font. So you have to compensate for that by reducing just the space in between the last bigger text and then the smaller text. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do here. Okay, all right, so with that said, I'll just select this, only this, and then do this. Okay, so that I just close the gap in between it and then the praise to compensate. Okay, all right, let these, and then let's try to reduce the spacing in between them a little bit. Okay, it's too much, so let me double click, and then let me make it 30, the word spacing or kerning like so, and we have this. So the next one was this, a live recording. Okay, you just click here and then click, okay, a live recording. Okay, Command Enter. So you see that they all have the same font style. Okay, so that's not how I want them to do. I want one to have a different font style, okay, for variety reasons. Okay, all right, so the font I used there was Bodoni. Okay, Bodoni MT. So let me quickly click here and then add the session to it. Control A, then come in here and then type Bodoni MT. Okay, like so. Okay, Bodoni MT, and then the font family or the font weight is bold. Okay, all right, Bodoni MT bold, just as you can see here. Okay, this one is even BD. Okay, Bodoni BD bold. So let me just Control Enter or Command Enter to make it editable, and then Bodoni. Okay, Bodoni BD. Okay, BD bold. Okay, they are almost the same, but just that one is a bit expanded or a bit condensed as compared to the other. Okay, so take note. So like this, and then let me move it here like so, and then let's start with the others too as well. Okay, the dates. So just click here and then U for the rectangle 2, and then let me sample my color from here. Okay, just Command C and then Command H to show my guides. Okay, then let me left click on the rule here or ruler here and then move a guide here so that it guides me with the placement of the date. Okay, all right. Then let's left click on this and move it down like so. Then left click here and drag. Okay, and don't release till you get what you want. Okay, so I prefer this. Now release, and I'll change it. I'll just disable the stroke because I don't want the stroke. Click here, select any color, click here and then paste my color. Okay, so this is the color I'm going to be using for this particular rectangle. Okay, this rectangle. Now go to OK. So now it is in place, and then let me zoom in with Control plus or Command plus on Mac, Command plus or Control plus again on Windows, Control T, and then or Command T on Mac, and then do the sidelights, increase the sidelights so by holding Shift and left click and drag downwards. Okay, so I'll quickly duplicate this. I'll just left click on it and then hold Option on Mac and left click and drag, or Alt on Windows, left click and drag to create a duplicate, and then quickly drag it on top of the rectangle. Okay, so that you can see it and then edit it. Okay, all right. Command Enter on Mac, Control Enter on Windows, and change it to AUG full stop 23rd. Yes, 23rd. And the font style there is Tasca Grotesque. Okay, Tasca Grotesque. So Command A and change the font to Tasca. Okay, and I think I use this. Okay, the medium. Okay, I'll get to it. 4,500. Let me see, is it? Okay, let me see. Maybe this is 5,500. So 5,500, like so. Okay, then I increase the font size a bit. Okay, not a bit bigger. And Command Enter or Control Enter to turn text into an editable text layer, and then click here and then change the color to white like so, and then Command H to hide the guides, and then do this. Okay, zoom in, select the rectangle, Command T or Control T on Windows, Shift left click and drag to distort it a bit like so, and then select the date. Okay, hold Shift, select the rectangle, and then click on this to center. Okay, the text. Okay, inside the rectangle vertically. Okay, and you can also do horizontally. Okay, to center, to make sure that everything is well centered. That is if you want to, if you're a perfectionist. Command H to show everything. Then now click on this, hold Shift, select this, and then move them to the edge. Okay, so that they all be okay on the same line. Like so. Let's move on to the next one. That is this. Okay, just click, left click, and then drag downwards like so. Okay, Command T and then Shift, left click, and then distort it. Okay, move it down, hold Shift and then move it down like so, and click on it, Alt on Windows and drag, Option and then drag on Mac. Okay, left click and drag, and double click and type 4 p.m. Okay, let me copy the color here. Command C, and then select this rectangle. Okay, and Command V. Okay, double click on the 4 p.m. click here and then going for somewhere here for the color. Okay, good. So you see that it is looking flat at the moment. Okay, so we have to add this ramp to make it look a bit, okay, 3D-ish. Okay, all right. So just click here and then click on, and then make sure that the rectangle is selected, and add the layer here, and then Command Option G or Control or G on Windows to clip match this layer. And then let me sample the color from here. Let me copy the color from here, my ramp. So aim for the marquee to, okay, and then left click and drag like so, okay, and release. Okay, click on this and Command V to paste what you copied. So you guys can take a screenshot, okay, so that you can follow along. Okay, all right. And Option backspace to fill with the foreground color, okay, or Option delete on Mac to fill with the foreground color. Control D or Command D on Mac to do away with the selection or to deselect. V for the move to, Command T to bring transform bounding box and then tilt it this way, okay, like so. Okay, just to add to the drama. Okay, all right. So like so. So let me quickly copy the color code for this from here. So this is the color code. Okay, let me copy it, and then let me take the QR code too from here and then import. Okay. The QR code was created in Adobe InDesign. Unfortunately, I don't have Adobe InDesign here, so let's move on. Okay, so just any QR code. Okay, all right. And then let me use the arrow keys to reposition like so. Double click on the text 4 p.m. Click here and then paste the color that I copied. Then Command Enter to register like so. And then let's see. Let's expand the rectangle. Zoom in and Command T, okay, like so. Okay, just like that. Select the ramp, Command T, and make it bigger. Okay, select the 4 p.m. to, let's zoom in with Option space and left click and drag on Mac, or is it Control space? Yeah. Is it Alt space on Windows or Control space on Windows? And then zoom in. So you also just to zoom in. Select the 4 p.m. Command T on Windows, Control T on Mac, and then left click and drag with the transform bounding box to make it big. Use the arrow keys plus shift to position it well, like so. Okay. Enter to register action 0, Control 0 to zoom out to fit canvas. Use the arrow keys to reposition like so, and yeah, let this and move it here like so. Okay, we have these things over there, and the venue too are just the Holy Ghost Fire Hour Ministry Clagon. So I just come in here, click on this, create a new layer, then click Holy Ghost Fire Hour Ministry. Okay, like so. Command A or Control A to select everything. Left click here, okay, and then increase the line spacing, and then change the font from Tascalgo text to, is it Gotham? Yes, Gotham, and type Gotham. Okay, like so. Gotham bold. Yeah. Nexa. Yeah, just Nexa. So just select everything and then type Nexa. Okay, Nexa black, and just reduce the size like so. Okay, Command Enter, and then so I wanted the Holy Ghost to be seen before the rest of the venue comes. Okay, so Holy Ghost big, and then the rest Fire Hour Ministry. Okay, so I had to reduce to move those ones down, reduce their size just to make everything visually balanced. Okay, all right. So I click here, enter to move it down, move my arrow down with the down arrow key, backspace to move it up, space bar to space, and then select the Holy Ghost hour and then increase the size like so. Okay, Yeah, and then the Fire Ministry to be underneath it. And then in there you type, let me tell you, I think I had this to over there, Clagon. Okay, so like so, and see that Fire Ministry. Just drag over it and then reduce the size like so. Then move it down. Okay, and again select this. Don't select everything and reduce the line spacing. Sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not work. So just do them one after the other. The Clagon first, the Fire first, then that second, and then that is it. Okay, or whatever way you do it. Some can do this. Okay, and this one too as well. Just move it up like so. Okay, and this one too, this one was downloaded the venue sign. Okay, so I just bring them here, so you can download it on the internet. You just go in there and search for location, icon, silhouette, png. Okay, you are going to get something like that. Okay, all right, so just click here and then move it up. Let's see if we can get a place for the icon. So let's select it and move it here like so. Okay, right click on this, select the location and then location details, and then move them here. Okay, like so. Control 0, then things are shipping up. Okay, all right, so just like that, you just select this, then move this to here. Okay, again to help us with the placement. Okay, all right, so what we are going to do is going to be related to these tests or this font style or this font style. So I'll create a duplicate for this particular test application or this test layer and then type those things there. Okay, the names of the ministers. So I just select it, hold Option on Mac, left click and drag, or Alt, okay, on Windows, left click and drag, Alt Shift to constrain the transformation on a straight line, release, Command Enter or Control Enter, and then change the font to somewhere here, not totally black, somewhere here, font color, sorry, and then reduce the font size. Okay, and type Ajimanpo, and then / Nati / enter Francis Ban, like so. Okay, Command Enter or Control Enter, Command T on Windows, on Mac, Control T on Windows, reduce the font size. Okay, while left clicking and dragging, enter to register and then reposition like so. Command Enter or Control Enter on Windows. Okay, Control plus or Command plus on Windows to zoom in, Command minus or Control minus on Windows to zoom out, and then just select this, change the color to somewhere like so. Let me sample this, let me come in somewhere here, and then reduce the size. Okay, and space, you check for the size 8. Okay, click here, Command C to copy the color so that you paste the color on the other one. Okay, all right, Command C or Control C on Windows, and then just come in here and then click here. Okay, and then Command V, okay, to paste the color. Okay, and then change the font size to 8 because the one here too is 8, and press Enter to get a similar one. Okay, space again and Command Enter. Okay, so the ones here, all right, it appears they are the same. So you go back, so just press Enter to move it down. Okay, then move your insertion point here and then backspace or delete on Mac to move it back. Space, select this, The font is 10.44, so 10.44. So that will be like it is different from what is there. So 10.44, okay, and then enter to make it also the same, okay, like this. Just double click and just going for a color, light color like this, okay, like this, okay. Control C, and then just this, then Control V to paste, okay, to change the color of this one too, okay, as well. And let's see, okay, just like that. Select this and make it a bit faint, okay. Copy, Command C, click, come here, click, left click, and then Command V, okay, like so. Okay, alright. Right now you have this, okay. Alright. So I selected and I moved them down, and I created what you can see, okay. Let me left click and drag this insertion point here. Left click and drag this insertion point here, just to help me with that particular creation, okay. Good, so I'm going to create this, okay. Alright, so you, okay, and then this time around I'm going for black, okay. For that stroke, left click and drag it like so, okay. B for the move to, Command H, okay, this is fine, this is okay. And I hit the guys with Command H, okay. Alright, so make sure that the rectangle is still selected. V for the shape to right click and select triangle, okay. We are going to maintain these ones, okay. Fill cancelled out, stroke activated. Select the rectangle and the whole sheet, left click and drag to add the rectangle, okay. So after adding, try to rotate it, okay. Command H, okay, and then the various points on the triangle will show so that you can rotate it, okay. And well, let's edit it, because without Command H, without showing the guys, you might not see the various points so that you edit, okay. Alright, so Command H to bring the guys and also bring these points, okay, for the triangle, and then just tilt it. So I'm just going to just flip it this way, okay, with this to flip it, okay. And then we can even use arrow keys to move it down, okay, because it is selected, okay. If you drag over everything and everything is selected, now when you use the arrow key, they are going to move together, okay. So you only have to drag over this so that you can edit this, okay. Even at times when you even drag over this, it moves with everything, okay. Just have to make sure that you have it selected. With the direct select tool, you just, okay, click this. With these two, okay, just click this, hold shift, click this and click that before you can move it, okay. But they are all together on the same layer, or let's say in the same shape, okay. Alright, V for the move to, and then click on this, left click, okay, and then Option on Mac, left click and drag, or Alt on Windows, left click and drag like so. Double click and then delete this, okay. Command A and type mini string, okay. Control A, select everything and then reduce the font size. Change the color, left click here and then change the color to black, and then click here for expanded properties of the type 2 and just space like so, okay. Command 0, Control 0 to fit, Control H to hide, just like that, okay. Good. So if it is too big, you can reduce, okay. So I'll change the font style to Gata, and then I would increase the font size like so. Now I would reduce the line spacing, the word spacing or kerning like so. And then I would look for the rectangle, okay, and Command T. Oh no, just zoom in. It's very, very tiny, so you have to make sure that you have it inside so that you can select it and edit it. Okay, all right. Just select it, and then now just press Command T, and then you reduce the size a bit. Okay, like so. Okay, all right. Command 0. Okay, almost there. So like that, and then we select this, then we select the location icon, select them together, and then we group them so that when we move one, we move the rest. Okay, unless maybe we click inside the group. Okay, all right. You can also link them so that they move together. It all depends on you. Okay, all right. And then Command T, and you just reduce the font size like so, and then by just left clicking and then dragging. Okay, after you have activated the transform bounding box. Are you clear? All right. So like so, and that is it. So just click on this, you move it up. Okay, select the live recording, Command T or Control T on Windows, make it a bit bigger by left clicking and dragging it to your right with the transform bounding box activated. Okay, like so. And let's see. Okay, so we have the present here. I'll not bother myself with even typing it because you've already illustrated something here. Okay, so I just drag it here. Okay, the present will be here. Okay, like this. You select the Praise Factory logo, add a rectangle to it. Okay, and then move it upwards. Okay, like so. Just like that, you're almost there. Okay, just like that. Just right click on the location, select it, and then change the colors. Color black, very good, like so. And yeah, so we have this, and then we have that, and then let's select the first item here, scroll to the down side like so to the final one, and then with shift press down, left click to select the range. Okay, and Command T and do the side a little bit. Okay, then move them here like so. Okay, something like this. Okay, and then we have our query state. So Command H. So let me do it with these guys. So our query state will be inside the box here. Okay, yes. So in here, I'll just see they are inside a box. Okay, so I'm just going to create a box here, and then right click and then select this, and then I'll select this color for the box like this, and then I'll give it a stroke of black. Okay, now just left click and drag it like so. Okay, like so, and then I'll import their image. Okay, so like so, I'll just import their image and Command G, and convert it to a smart object, and Control T to introduce a transform bounding box, and then or Command T to introduce a transform bounding box on Mac. Option or Alt on Windows, left click and drag from any point to reduce the size uniformly from the center. Okay, then like so. Go to OK and Command G or Control G on Windows to group the image layer. Okay, hold Command click, okay, on the rectangle that we just created to turn the rectangle into a selection so that we can go away with excesses, okay, or the areas of the quad images or the query images, the image that we of the areas of the query image that we don't need. Okay, all right. So we just add layer and then click here and B for the brush to hard run brush, 100% opacity, and then apply white. Okay, so that you can introduce these areas. Okay. Okay, and just apply. Okay, all right. We select the image and the Command T on Mac, Control T on Windows, left click and drag upwards, increase the size like so. Okay, then create a new layer on top of them. G for the gradient to click on this, change the color to black. Okay, left click and drag like so. Okay, Command T, move it down with Shift and down arrow key. Okay, and in there create a new layer. U for the shape to right click and select the line to and introduce lines, okay, in front of them. So this time around I'm going to select this color, not white, so I'll click here and I'll change it from this state to white. Click, hold Shift, left click and drag like so. Okay, V for the move to change the color here, change the font, change the weight of the stroke to about 5. Okay, all right. V for the move to and move it here. Okay, let me go in for 4. Okay, Command J or Control J on Windows to create a duplicate of the line layer and then move it to the other side. Okay, all right. So hold Shift and the right arrow key to it and like so. Okay, all right. So you just click on this, hold Option or Alt on Windows, left click and drag to create a duplicate. Command Enter or Control Enter to turn the duplicated layer into a selection and type CMM. Okay, Command A or Control A to select everything and then change the font style to Amnesia. Okay, Amnesia Distressed. Okay, and this time around we are going to change the color from black to white. Okay, all right, because already the layer is kind of looking dark, so you shouldn't go in for a darker color, otherwise that thing is not going to show. So you just zoom in with Control Plus and then select this, okay, and Command T, okay, increase the size like so. Okay, enter, Command T, right click, and we are not showing just to skewing, so you select skew and then we skew it. Okay, all right. So right click and skew and then we skew it like so. Okay, and then move it down. Okay, Option, left click and drag upwards, Command Enter or Control Enter to turn it into an editable layer and type mini string. Okay, Command A or Control A to select everything and reduce the font size like so. Okay, and then change the font style from Amnesia Distress to Gata. Okay, or any sans serif font. It can be Nexa 2 as well. So let me see Nexa for this. Nexa bold. Reduce the font size and then reposition it like so. Okay, let me see black. Okay, all right, so something like this. Okay, and then the responses to a U. Okay, let me disable the there was an error over there. Okay, so we have this, and the sponsors too were just images, and I just reduce their sizes, so I'm just going to import them quickly. Okay, all right, so I just scroll to the very top here. Now create a new layer, and then let me introduce the sponsors. So just introduce them. Okay, I'll introduce the sponsors. Okay, like so here. Okay, and the ones on top of them too, I just type them, so it is not going to be an issue. Okay, I just type them with these ones. Okay, so I'm just going to import them as well. Okay, I just type them, so let me import them. Okay, so you can simply type and then you increase the kerning value. Okay, you just increase the kerning values here. Okay, you increase, okay, the kerning. Okay, this one is Nexa. Okay, this is Nexa black, and this is Nexa bold. Okay, so I'm just varying the weight. Okay, just to make certain things aesthetically pleasing. Okay, all right. And also a little bit of functionality because the first logo happens to be the particular entity that will be powering the program, and then the other logos are going to just sponsor. Okay, all right. So like that, just have to reposition like so, and then like this. So Command A to hide the guys. Then let's see. Okay, let's reduce the size of the whole thing. Let's go to the very top, select this, scroll down, select the final one here, Command T to reduce the font size like so, to reduce the size of the whole thing like so. Okay, by just left clicking and dragging. Okay, like so. Okay, all right, just as you can see. And then I'll make the subject a bit bigger. This one, Command T, now make me a bit bigger. Okay, a bit bigger, because he is going to be the host, so his image has to be big. And then a little bit of this image too as well. So I just select it and then Command T, now be increasing the size a bit. Like so. Okay, I would move him down. Okay, moving down would mean move this one to down, so just select it and move it down like so. Okay, just as you can see. Okay, give you that. So yeah, that is going to be that for now. Okay, that is going to be that for now. And yes, so just select this, then Command J to create a duplicate and move it up, and then Command Enter and then type there. Okay, like so, and then press Command A or Control A to select everything, reduce the size. Okay, like so, and then add. Okay, Command or Control on Windows, left click and drag it here. Okay, Command Enter, Control Enter, then reduce the size like so. Okay, mark action or register action and move it here. Okay, very good. Select this. Okay, just as you can see, then we add this gradient map. Okay, go to here, then gradient map, Control Alt G or Command Option G on Mac, and then change the color. So this is white. Okay, and then this is black. Okay, all right, and then go to okay, Render mode to overlay. I just soft lights. Okay, and Control Shift A. Control Shift A to go into camera raw filter and further edit the image. Okay, all right. So in here, just go to click here and then load settings. And I'm going to add something here, something like so, and I'm going to go to OK, like this. Then I would double click on this icon and then reduce the intensity slightly. Okay, like so. Okay, and in here I'm just going to go to image, adjustment, shadows and highlights to get me to this particular area, like so. And then I would add a color balance layer. Okay, so that I want to add a bit of yellow, okay, to that particular image. So I'm going to do that with color balance. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to drag it on top like so. Color balance. Then midtones, I'll just add a little bit of yellows. Okay, and I think that will be that for this image. Okay, don't go to the extreme, somewhere here. Okay, select on the gradient map and copy it. Command C for this. Okay, come in here and then paste. Command V. Okay, Control or G or Control or Command Option G on Mac. Okay, click here and then image, adjustment, shadows and highlights, like so. Okay, just like that. Okay, just like that. And then you come in here. Let's see. So you can add a little bit more to 64 to 40. Okay, something like this. Okay, to the extreme, just a little bit, like so. And then Control M to add curves adjustment, okay, to it. So I'm just going to, okay, just add the curves. See, I added the curves just to make the image a bit brighter. Okay, so I just adjustment. Okay, so just Control M, then I'll just adjust. Okay, so this one to boost the highlights. Okay, this one to darken it a bit. Okay, like so. So I already have it here. So I'm just going to load like this. Okay, like this. So I'm just going to come into the shadows and highlights here. And I'll reduce it slightly. I think something like this. Okay, it's too much. Let me drag it on top. Okay, this is okay. And let me come in here with I've already copied my gradient map adjustment into the clipboard, so I'm just going to paste. Okay, I'm just going to select this and then Command V or Control V on Windows to paste. Control or Command Option G, Control or G on Windows, Command Option G on Mac to clip mask. Select this image, adjustment, shadows and highlights, like so. Okay, like this and like this. Okay, just as you can see. Okay, like so. And then a little bit of curves, so Control M, just as I did. I just manipulated, okay, these areas and that area, okay, to make the image pop. Okay, I already have it there, so I can just load. I think I didn't save it there, so I just maintain it like this. And then I would add the color balance adjustment. So color balance, like so, also to add the yellows, okay, a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to drag it on top, and I would add a little bit of yellows to it, like so. Okay, good. Select this layer and paste the copied gradient map again. Control Alt G on Windows, Control Alt G on Windows, Command Option G on Mac. Then select this image adjustment, shadows and highlight like so. Okay, boost it slightly. Control M. Okay, then again I just work on the shadows and then the highlights. Okay, basically, so I think I have it here, so I'm just going to load if yeah. So like that. Okay, this up, this down a little bit. I went to okay, and this one too was maintained. And yes, for these images too, I added a gradient. I added this is a camera adjustment to it. Curves, so just only curves, and that was it. So it looked too colorful. Zooming in, you are going to see that it looks too colorful. So I just press Control or Command H for hue and saturation. Command U, okay, or Control U for hue and saturation. I reduce the saturation, okay, for them a little bit, okay, and then Control M for curves adjustment, and then I worked on the shadows and then the highlights, okay, to make them a bit brighter than they currently are, and Command 0 to fit like that, okay, like that. Command H to hide the guides, and okay, you're almost good. Yes, so you select this image, and then create a new layer on top. Just drag it on top of the gradient map, and then I for the eyedropper, sample this color, okay, G for the gradient too, and then drag it over A, okay, like so, okay, and then add the layer marks, V for the brush too, and increase the size with the bracket keys, okay. Further away, very close is going to the one that is just after the P is going to use the size of the brush, is going to use the size of the brush to the one next, okay, or up next after it is going to what? Increase, okay. Or you can also do it from here, okay, to increase and reduce the brush size. Then just apply black, because our layer mask is white, so we want to hide these areas of the application, so you would apply black to hide, okay. So like so. Hey, hard round brush, sorry, so I'm just going to undo it. Command Z, Control Z. Now I'm going to use the soft round brush. I would add a new layer mask, soft round brush, and I would apply black like so, okay. And I would add a little bit of yellows to this, so color balance, and then let me add a little bit of yellows, okay, to this image too as well, so that all the images in there appears to have this kind of yellows in them, okay. All right, like so. And yeah, so over here, I think I have this more info here, that is for more information. So I just typed it, then I have this icon I downloaded from the internet. Now I just drag and drop them here, the shift, okay, like so, okay. So I just type them. Font style is Gafta, and with the Viber icon I downloaded it. So please, if you want the Viber icons pack to, just let me know inside the comments. I'm going to just drop it, okay, so that you can download it, okay. Very good. So like so, yeah. So you just select the Viber, add shift, add control or command, and then select this as well by left clicking on it to select it, and then move them on top of everything. Okay, and click on this right underneath it, the powered by, drag it down, hold shift, click on this to select the range, and then move it up like so, okay, so that we have this space in between these elements, and then for further information, okay. Very good, like so, okay. All right, And finally, we have the name of the host. Okay, so I'm just going to click here, and then I'm going to introduce his name to. Okay, so this is his name. I tapped it here. So let me just quickly drag it and drop it over there. Okay, Kojo Newton. So again, I have a tutorial on the anticipation flyer that I did for this artwork. So if you like to go and check, you can check that one out. In there, I showed how I did this. Okay, just a rectangle and then some few modifications here, and then the text in there. The font here is called Tasca Grotesque. I made one smaller and then the other bigger. Okay, all right. Well, like so, and yeah. So I think everything is in place. Everything is in place now. Okay. Let me Command T and then increase the size a bit. Okay, like so. All right. Enter to register action and then let's position like so. And yeah, I think yes. And then we have an issue here. I almost forgot the one here, the extension here. So you click on this image, add a mask, B for the brush to, then do away with these areas. They are not important. So just clean them real quick so that you don't get issues. Just quickly. Or quickly do I with these areas. Okay, and these, see, this part of our title might be disturbed. Okay, it's white, and this is okay. These areas of our subject is also white, so let's try to do away with some of them a bit. Okay, not fully but subtly. So brush to, B for the brush to, reduce opacity to somewhere 30, then apply. Okay, like so. All right, this is better. Here I'm just applying black into this particular white gradient map. Okay, so I am hiding those areas. I am not totally deleting, I'm just hiding. Okay, with the layer mask. And then I'll select this subject and then click on this layer mask, give for the right to, and then just erase. Okay, here SS to in here. Okay, as well. So let me just up the brush opacity by left clicking and then okay. So I'm just okay. All right. Yes. So guys, and maybe after everything, when you want to add some few things, let's say when you want to sharpen it a bit, let's see, let me increase this image a bit, size. Okay, just increase by just left clicking and then dragging apples. Okay, Control T or Command T on Mac, left click and drag apples. Okay, to increase the size. So guys, very simple. So if maybe I want to sharpen it afterwards, I just click on, just move up on top of everything. Control Shift Alt E on Windows or Command Shift Option E on Mac to create a snapshot, and then you go to Filter, Sharpen, and on Sharp Mask, and then this value is fine. You go to OK, and then you are good. Thank you very much, guys, for sticking around. It's your boy Inferno here. Have an exciting week. See you.